Welcome back to episode number 6 of Rewriting Leclerc's Legacy. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, make sure you go check them out now. The playlist will be in the top right corner, and then you'll get back to this one because this week we are in Singapore. If you saw last week's in Monza, you'll see that we won the Grand Prix. Had an amazing battle with Max Verstappen, and with like 3 or 4 laps to go, Verstappen's engine blew up. He got 0 points. We got 25 points.
Making
so
sure
now
we
the
have the
gap to
distance
him has
ahead of
closed
Verstappen,
down
so he can't
quite
make
a
a
bit.
lunge,
And this
but he's
was
going to.
one of the main talking points in the race. He spun us around, and he actually took the lead from that. But I guess Carver came back to bite him as his engine blew up. Out the race he goes. We went on to win it. Carlos Sainz also took home P3, so he closed in on the constructors as well. But you can see a 7-point gap to Max Verstappen with 6 races to go. There is still a sprint race in Brazil as well. So plenty of points still up for the offering. But we obviously want to take the lead in the championship for the first time this season, or the first time since I think the first 5 races when Leclerc was actually leading the championship. But here we are in Singapore. Q3 right now, and the first lap we didn't actually manage to do. I think we went over track limits, so we're currently P10. Verstappen only P8. The Red Bull does not look quick around here. We do, as Sainz is a 37.8. Our car should probably be in the top 5 at the very least. But we just got to make sure we get a lap in, not risk it too much where we put it in the wall or go track limits, because if we do, we're starting P10, and that's the last thing we want. But it's actually a decent lap from us. And I'll say it was a pretty solid lap. No purple sectors as of right now. But as we come around the final corner and up to the line, it's a 37.6. And it is just enough to put ourselves onto pole position. Carlos Sainz P2. You got Ricciardo in P3. Lando as well in P4. So the McLarens are looking quick. But both Red Bulls down in P8 and P9, so not the weekend that they had in mind, but we're on pole. Sainz P2. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few penalties when you get towards the end of the season like this. People start taking penalties left, right, and centre, and there you go. Norris has taken a penalty. He was P4 in qualifying, and same with our championship rival, Max Verstappen, has taken a penalty. I think he qualified, was it P8? But he's not there anymore, so he's taking a penalty. Norris is in P11, and let's see where Verstappen is. He's probably going to be at the back of the grid, and yeah, it looks like it is. In a place where it's so hard to overtake, yeah, he's P20, so Verstappen, P20 on the grid. It's so hard to overtake around Singapore, but I guess it's not awful. He was starting P8 anyway, P8, P9, so maybe P7, P6 after Norris's penalty, but there we go. He's taking the penalties here in Singapore, and he won't have to in the future. But we are underway for the Grand Prix, and it's not a bad start. But you can see in the background, they're going 4 wide. The Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, and Alpine all getting very, very tasty into turn 1. But we survive. We're out in front. We are cruising. And you got Daniel Ricciardo getting into P2. Carlos Sainz into P3. But Max Verstappen struggling to make his way through the field. He's just sitting down there in P20, trying to make a move on Latifi. The longer he's down there, the better it is for us. And I think he's going to struggle to score any points here in Singapore, because there's only a couple of places that you can really overtake. And you have to make sure that you're right on the back of the car in front. So for us to be P1 at this stage, on the medium tyres, is a huge advantage. We started on the mediums. We're going to go mediums to hards. And I think everybody else is on the mediums, except for Carlos Sainz and Verstappen. And maybe Perez as well. So yeah, we're on the mediums, just trying to make sure we stay P1, which we managed to do at the very start. Sainz is on the hards, going for a different strategy, so that could be interesting. Will he have the pace on us at the end? And Verstappen also on the hards, which is probably the smartest thing to do from him. But for him to score points, he's going to need some luck. Maybe a safety car or something to save him. But we are P1 currently after 3 laps, just chilling. We're just chilling. Make sure we don't put it in the wall. Cruising out in front. But I'll tell you what, Ricciardo behind is quick. He is pushing us, as he's about a second away now, but he's not slow at all. We've had to use up quite a bit of ERS just to try and pull out of that 1 second gap, because if he gets in that DRS, he will be pushing us, especially down that straight as, oh my goodness me, we almost put it in the wall, and now we're going defensive on Ricciardo, and that was a scary, scary moment. 5 laps into the Singapore Grand Prix, with Verstappen starting P20, we almost put it in the wall and lost the chance. So as you see, we come around this corner, the back end it just slides. We just lose it. And we are millimeters away from hitting the wall. You look at this. Look how close we were to ending our race here. That's 25 points down the drain. Or a potential 25 points down the drain. Because we're currently P1. If we put that in the wall, that would have been absolutely tragic. But we're still P1. Still going. No damage on the car. So no harm done. And it was Hamilton that is out of the Grand Prix. So that's an extra place for Verstappen. But that doesn't really affect our race too much. As around that final corner we go. Daniel Ricciardo closing on in. He's got that DRS. And down the inside, Danny Rick goes. We try and see if we can hold it around the outside. But through he goes. We're going to try and stay close enough to get him down the next straight. But Ricciardo in the McLaren is fast enough to get past us here in Singapore. And I tell you what, that McLaren does look very, very quick. We saw it in the previous couple races with Lando Norris. This time, Daniel Ricciardo is showing its pace. And Lando Norris, without that grid penalty he had, he would probably be up here as well. I think he qualified. Did he qualify? It was P3 or P4. But I know the McLarens had the second row locked out, but he started P11 because of the penalties, and that's why he's not up here. But the McLaren, they're shaking things up in the title challenge, I'll tell you that much. They're trying to take points off of us and Verstappen as much as possible, as Lance Stroll is now out the session. But we're trying to close on into Ricciardo, see if we can take that P1 back, because every point counts. You know, if we get 18 points here and Verstappen doesn't score, yes, that's good. But at the same time, I'll be thinking, we were 7 points. We could have got 7 points more from this Grand Prix, and that could come back to haunt us towards the end of the season, as Verstappen's just chilling. P15, he lost a bunch of time behind Latifi, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, who must have some sort of damage if he's pitted that early. But yeah, we're just doing our thing, sitting P2, Ricciardo P1, both on the same strategy, both on the mediums. So really, we're going to have to overtake him on the track, or when he comes into the pits, which he does right now. So Ricciardo into the pits. It's a bit early to come into the pits, isn't it? Lap 10? Lap 10 to 11, he's come into the pits. That seems very, very early. But Ricciardo into the pits nonetheless. Maybe he's going on to the hards early? No, he's going on to the mediums. Ricciardo onto the mediums. He's committed to a two-stop strategy here in Singapore. And wow. Wow. We have got really, really lucky there. I'll tell you what, that's an easy P1. I mean, it's us versus Sainz now. Ricciardo, our main challenge, has committed to a two-stop strategy. He's never going to beat us. If we go onto the hards around lap 14, lap 15, we're sorted. He's not catching us. I don't know why McLaren have done that. They put him on the hards. It's a whole different story. Keep him out another 3 laps. But the AI have bottled it. We've managed to pull away a little bit from Sainz now with the clear air that we've got. And Ricciardo's stuck in traffic on a new set of mediums, knowing that he's going to have to pit again. I'm baffled. I'm baffled, but is what it is. It just makes our race a little bit easier. And I tell you what, Ricciardo had the pace to win this. We were struggling to stay with him. And to get past him was a different story. We'd have had to do it in the pits, because I don't know if we could have got past him on track. He was very, very fast. We couldn't get close enough. Anyway, 3-4 laps later, we're going to come into the pits, and we're going to put on a set of hards, and we're going to commit to a one-stop strategy, because that is the way to do it here in Singapore. Ricciardo down in P15. He did get past Latifi, Tsunoda, and Guan Yu Zhou, but I tell you what, it took him some time. It wasn't as easy as just passing him down the next straight, because around in Singapore, there's so many barriers. It's basically a glorified Monaco. It's so hard to overtake, except for one straight. And out the pits we go. Ricciardo on a fresh set of mediums. I don't know if he's going to get out ahead of us. I think the traffic's going to hold him up too much, as Verstappen's actually coming out. We're coming out of the pits now. Verstappen around the first corner. He's ahead of us. What about Daniel Ricciardo? We're ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, who went out on a new set of mediums 3-4 laps before. The traffic got him, but we're going to let him through down the inside because he's not in our race anymore. Look at that. If he went onto a set of hards, this would have been a great old scrap. And he would have got us, and he would be currently net P1. But he's got to pit again onto another set of tyres. So Ricciardo, I don't know what he is. He's probably like net P8, net P7 or something. He's going to go into a set of mediums and then surely go into a set of softs. If not, if he's going into a set of mediums after that, then I'll be shocked. But anyway, we are pushing to see if we can get past Max Verstappen. He's our championship rival. Is he going to try something a bit dangerous? Is he going to try and put us in the wall? Make sure we get 0 points. Hopefully not. Should be an easy overtake on a new set of hards versus his 17 lap old hards. It should be a relatively easy overtake, but it is difficult around Singapore. We're going to go around the outside. Verstappen defends, but look at that lovely little switchback move. See you later, Max. We're saying goodbye to you, and we're trying to say goodbye to your title hopes as well, as we look to push on forward and get 25 more points to overtake Verstappen in the championship, and to get an inch closer to the championship itself. There's only 5 more races after this, so every point counts. And look at this overtake. We go for a little switchback. He goes a little deep. Obviously, he hugs the apex to try and park the car in the apex, so we can't find a way through, but we do just about. And I love this overtake as well. Look at this cockpit view. See you later, Max. See you later. Through we go. Up in a P3, I think it was at the time, but it was net P1, and now we're chilling in P1. Ricciardo's pit again. He did pit onto another set of hards. I'm baffled. I'm still baffled by his strategy. He's P8 on lap 22, so he could be fighting for the lead right now. It was basically a guaranteed podium for Daniel Ricciardo, but he decided to go for the two-stop strategy. I think the only driver this race, I think him and Guan Yu Zhou were the two to go for a two-stop. And you can see it's clearly not worked out for them, as Verstappen is trying to get a move done on Alex Albon, put himself up into P11. I don't think he's going to score points here. 8 laps, 7 laps, 6 laps to go. He's struggling to close on in. And once you get on in, it's all about overtaking. You know, you can catch up on this track, but overtaking is a different story, as we are loving life. We're just cruising. And this is the worst last 12 laps. I wish Ricciardo didn't do that stupid strategy, because I'm struggling to stay focused right now, and I'm getting close to crashing almost at most corners, because I'm just kind of bored. I just want this race to be over, as we're coming on to the last lap with Verstappen, still P11. He's got to get top 10 if he wants to get points, as Gasly locks up, and Verstappen now has a chance on the AlphaTauri. Can Verstappen get on through? Every point matters. Even 1 point for Verstappen could become crucial towards the end of the season if he can pick up results in the last 5 races. As through he goes on Gasly. Is Gasly going to have enough speed to catch up to Verstappen and get back past him at the end of this straight? It doesn't look like it. Verstappen using all his ERS. He's through on Gasly, and he's going to pick up at least 1 point here in Singapore. And I'll tell you what as well, for Verstappen, he took penalties here, so he should be done for taking any penalties for the rest of the season, which will make it interesting. If he doesn't have to take any more penalties, we should have several more battles with Verstappen this season. As look, we were going for past Verstappen. I tell you what, we almost lost it there. As around the last few corners we go, and we're low on fuel. We are low on fuel with a couple corners to go. The time to Alonso is dropping. 5.4, 5.3 is going to drop rapidly. We're slow to the line, but we're just about going to make it. And we almost ran out of fuel. Alonso comes on in. 2.3 seconds was the gap. It was like 6 seconds, 7 seconds before we lost the fuel. If we lose the fuel two or three corners earlier, we don't win that Grand Prix. We probably finish like 5th or 6th. So just about making it. A bit of a crazy ending there. I thought for a second we had lost it. I was about to cry. I was about to, that would have been tragic. But we just got to the end. And I tell you what, that looks like a very dusty car. It doesn't look red at all. Don't know what's happened there. But anyway, Charles Leclerc takes home P1. We don't get fastest lap. Sergio Perez actually takes it for the Red Bull team. Beats us by like a 10th. Verstappen does get P10, and he takes 1 point home with him, but we take 25, and that puts us in the lead for the Drivers' Championship. 17 points is the gap now to Verstappen. So hopefully Verstappen doesn't have to take any more penalties, and we will have some on-track battles with him to try and win this championship in 2022. We're rewriting Leclerc's legacy, and we're doing it very, very well. Carlos Sainz is also helping us out to close on in that Constructors' battle. 3 points to Red Bull. It's all kicking off for the final 5 races. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are as well. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.